Hey heroes, welcome in. Welcome to another episode of Hosts for Hire. I am Lucas Rand. This is Kyle Cage, and today we are going to be covering episode 5 of What If. They've been dropping them each day, and we are dropping a video in response. Before we get too deep into it, you guys, please make sure you go like, follow, subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to hit that elusive 1,000, and any help will be much appreciated. Kyle, what'd you think of this episode, bro?
Oh, it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty confused
It was a
about like a
departure.
lot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really understand a lot. Like, I wasn't actually quite a big fan of this episode because of how confusing it was and how much it kind of didn't make sense. For instance, how was there survivors after the world exploded?
So
The
that
Earth just exploded, and not only was there 4 like superhero survivors, but there was like humans like living in the city.
yeah, there
How?
were people just alive.
Like how? What the fuck?
Evidently when the emergence happened, it didn't completely
It obliterated
destroy.
the Earth. Like
Yeah,
the Earth was in pieces.
but evidently it didn't destroy the gravitational field because that's like
But I mean, like when
obviously
the Earth
like
would
that's.
explode, everyone would die.
I agree.
Like
I
I was just
agree.
like, what the fuck, you guys?
But
That was
it's also comic book logic. You know what
it's
I
true,
mean?
but it's
You
like,
have to
man,
take into account the fact that that happens in the
that's
comic.
quite the leap.
That it's a,
I don't
it's
think
a
there's been
comic book
anything in the
logic.
MCU that far of a leap into
Yeah,
surreality.
yeah,
Like everything of it usually has like it's formed in a basis of a type of reality. You know, like
yeah,
uh, even in the
yeah. It was,
Eternals, they were like, if it emerges, the world is over. Like everyone is dead, and that was the
yeah.
whole plot
That
to
was
the
the whole point
Eternals.
of them
Like,
stopping it.
yeah.
Yeah, was the fact that like the Iron
So I didn't really
Federation
like that.
existence.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
That I didn't like.
which
It
is
kind of
fair.
it kind of rubbed the whole episode a little weird for me.
I thought it was a really interesting departure. That's the way I was looking at it. Was that it was a departure from what we've been seeing,
Yeah,
and it was mainly clearly by the end. It was obviously just a way for them to have Uatu
break his
branch
oath again.
branch even further away from the Watchers. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like
That I
having
thought was interesting. That like he's seemingly in trouble, like with the Watchers. You know, like that
yep.
the Watchers are watching
And
him now.
that he, especially because like he'd watched that specific thing happen so many times that he
That
just
also was
couldn't
confusing
do
to
it
me. Like,
anymore.
how was he? In no other iteration does he watch the same event over and over and over again. How was this event happening over and over and
Well,
over again throughout multiple multiverses? Like that's
well,
where like
so like
there's a lot
that's
of
like
oversight in this one to me.
yeah. Well, so the way that they made it
Because like,
seem
why
is
was there
that
multiple of this one where there wasn't
there's
multiple of
multiple
any?
of but there's multiple of all of them. Each world has multiple small like the way that they've explained it in the first two seasons is that each world has slight variations of its own world, and
I
there's
guess, but the way he made
infinite
it
amount
seem is
of
that he
them.
watched that happen over and over. Riri got that exact moment with that exact
Well,
Vision suit on with the
in
exact
yeah,
situation.
in every world that the emergence happens early before the Eternals can stop it. Basically, at the very beginning, it says in every world that the emergence happens, it leads to this event happening, to this timeline occurring. In every
Crazy.
iteration of the world that Quentin Beck takes over after the emergence, um,
Yeah,
it
I don't know. I just felt like
it
this.
leads to
Like
Riri losing hope
I liked this
and
episode in
Quentin Beck winning.
concept a lot, but like there was
Yeah.
a lot I didn't enjoy about it. Like Beck, we didn't get to see a lot of Mysterio-ness,
Mhm.
other than
Mhm.
just like some of his Iron Legion being fake and some of them not.
Yeah,
Like there
like
wasn't a
well
lot of
that
Mysterio-ness to his. And then I guess at the very end with
yeah, at the
Riri, where he
very
like
end, yeah, the
confuses,
Riri. Yeah.
where he tricks her.
Yeah.
But like yeah, like there, like this was like a super Mysterio, and he kind of like didn't do even as much as Mysterio did in Far From Home.
Yeah.
And this
Definitely.
was like a
And
Uber
they
Mysterio,
and
you know?
they definitely made it where it was like the fact that he had Vision as a guard dog is
Was his whole
why
thing.
was his
Like,
whole like is what allowed him to
yeah,
gain as much power as he did.
I don't
Is
know.
that he had the power
There was
of
just a lot here
Vision.
that I didn't like. I
Yeah.
thought a lot was cool, like Val,
Mhm.
like Shang-Chi's aunt being a bad
Mhm.
bitch. Like that was really
Mhm.
cool. Uh,
Yeah.
Wong didn't do a lot. Like Wong was severely depowered. They
Yeah.
depowered the fuck out of this version of Wong. Like,
Yeah, like the fact that he could only hold that spell for 5 minutes against
yeah, and
Vision, like
he's a Sorcerer Supreme in like our reality. He's a Sorcerer Supreme.
yeah. And well, in this
Uh,
one, he would have been as well because he's the only one left. You
yeah,
know,
well,
by
assuming, but
by default, he would be
yeah,
the Sorcerer
that's true.
Supreme.
That's true. That's true. Uh, yeah, and then like the
Yeah,
other part that I didn't like exactly was I didn't really understand Mysterio's point. What was he trying to rule? Because like for the longest time over the episode, I didn't know that there was anybody alive on the planet. So I was just
yeah.
like, what is the purpose of what he's doing? Like it's
No,
just
but
him
yeah,
versus the
there
like,
were people apparently alive. Yeah, they
you know.
just
So
like
it's just
were
like really
living in the
weird to me.
cities. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
like uh where were they? Like I was just like, fuck dude, what the hell is going on here? Like
yeah.
normal people are just alive. I don't know. I didn't really like
They were
that.
completely they were completely submissive to him at that point.
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
like
right,
it was
right,
at
right.
this point
There
like
were
no one
statues
was
of him and
fighting
shit.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah.
But they didn't really reveal that until the end. Like I guess that would have made
Hmm.
more sense to me, his purpose. Because like the whole time I was like, why? Like
Well,
it's
I
just
just
him
assumed
alone
that.
versus like,
I assumed other people were alive still. That they were fighting
yeah,
for
I guess I
something. Like they
definitely
showed
didn't.
that at the very beginning when it was Riri like moving through the shadows. They showed other people living on the streets, and like a lot of them
Yeah,
were like
I guess
living
I
in
just didn't
squalor.
like
But like
put
they
that
showed
together.
people immediately. Yeah, like
Yeah,
that
I
there
guess I
were
just
just
didn't put
kind
that
of people
together.
around. Yeah, but
Uh,
no one's living a good life in that world. You know what I mean? Even
yeah,
after
because like
like
the other thing was that my understanding was is that when Tiamat emerged, that is the planet Earth. Like
like
he absorbs the
yeah,
planet Earth and it
that's what
becomes what he is.
yeah, they
You
just
know what I
kind
mean?
of
Like
blew past the
they
fact
just
that they
like
were
retconned like a weird details.
yeah,
Like what? Where
like
was time at?
he
He just
dipped.
like emerged and just like dip. Like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, he went off to do celestial things. You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean,
it's not like the
this is his
celestials.
sector. You know, like he's
Yeah,
born into Earth because this is his area. Like
yeah,
this is where he's the celestial of.
yeah.
Like
But you know, he's off doing
what the
celestial things
fuck?
in the sector. He doesn't have to worry. He doesn't worry about his home planet.
So there was like a
Evidently,
lot
this
where
is
I
all
was
just
like,
a
damn, like
conjecture. Yeah,
what the fuck is going on here?
they definitely
Um,
were like,
I really did like the Riri Vision like
hmm
meld. That was like
yeah,
super badass, super
yeah,
badass. Um, yeah, I
yeah.
thought at the beginning of this episode, I was like, ooh, like this is gonna be my favorite episode so far. I saw Mysterio,
hmm
Riri, I was like, oh, this is super dope, like the
hmm
Iron Legion. And then I like it just more and more, and I was like, man, I don't, what's going on here? I don't really like the like
Yeah,
lack of attention to detail on this one
yeah.
that there has been on like so many other ones. Hey, you guys, if you guys disagree with me, just come at me in the comments. We can talk about the reasons you liked it. We can talk about the reasons I didn't like it a little bit more in depth. Uh, if you guys really, really enjoyed the parts of this episode that I didn't like I said, explain your reasonings why, so that like we can kind of have like a tit for tat. And please, please, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe at Host4HirePodcast. And we will see you guys tomorrow for episode 6.
Thanks.